Why are illegal aliens driving semi trucks? And what is cash bail? Let's find out. Welcome aboard.
Hey, here's a quick question. I heard this the other day. I have to ask you. You're the guy that's going to know.
Go ahead.
What is cashless bail?
Oh, that is a great.
And I know it's way off topic, but it just popped into my head. Welcome to the ADD world.
By the way, I understand. I haven't looked into it yet, but I hear that cashless bail, they're going to be getting rid of it.
Yes, they are. And that's why it was the first time I'd ever heard of it. And now we're getting rid of it. So I'm like, when did it start? What is it?
Quite a while ago. Okay, here's what happened. People would get charged with a crime.
Yes.
And the worse the crime,
the higher the bail.
Exactly.
That's pretty standard, up to the point where there is no bail.
So blue states, California, New York, the farther blue you went, Illinois, the more they push this idea. They said that bail is a racist institution because some people can't afford it, and if they happen to be so it's racist. So
because
they said
the guy who was a criminal and had all kinds of gang affiliations, he was on his way to choir practice when that happened. So we shouldn't charge him bail.
Well, I've seen many a choir boy do drive-by shootings.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. But because it was racist, instead of having to pay money for bail, you did cashless bail, which basically what we used to call OR, on your own recognizance. You just
let him go.
You let him
go, and he promises to stay.
He promises to stay out of trouble, or she, until their court date. So okay. I'm sure you and I know many a gang member who've been out there harming people, stealing, doing all sorts of crime breaking. They're sitting there going, oh, you know what? I was let out on cashless bail. I need to stay out of trouble for 6 months until my trial.
Well, we're way off topic, but there was this accident that had to do with a California CDL, commercial driver's license, in Florida. And I guess the guy got out. He killed like a family, made an illegal turn. He killed like a family who was driving on the freeway, and he ended up in California because of a cashless bail system and all this. And I guess they had to go from Florida to California to get this guy back.
My understanding of that case, they gave this guy a driver's license.
Yes, in California.
He is not here legally, I believe. I could be wrong.
Did not pass the driver's test, and he could not read any more than 12 of the mandatory, I don't remember how many signs in Florida, but they're federal signs. It's not like, it's like stop. It's like it's not like some special sign.
He could not read English.
Couldn't read English and couldn't recognize any more than 12 signs. Yeah. And
he didn't pass the test.
Yeah.
And he made an illegal U-turn.
No.
In a blind corner kind of area.
No. A freeway or highway or turnpike, whatever they want to call them in Florida, from the slow lane. Across all lanes of freeway, across the median that said do not cross. And when he turned in front of the minivan, and I know this sounds like something out of a cliche, turned in front of the minivan of family. Ended up, I think, killing most, if not all of them.
There were 3 people in the car, that's my understanding, and all 3 died.
Yeah, and it's like, hello? And I argued this back in COVID, that California there was some loophole, and I don't know the exact thing, it's just whatever was reported at that time, that California was allowing you to get a commercial driver's license if you had a commercial driver's license in your country of origin. And there were places like Haiti where there are no commercial driver's license. If you can drive a car, you can drive any car. So those people were getting a commercial driver's license, and they may have only ever ridden a scooter.
I have heard that they were handing out CDLs to commercial driver's licenses to Haitians like water.
Yeah, a lot of different ethnic origins. But I guess Haiti was one of them where it was like you literally just filled out a form to get a license. There was no actual driver's license. There was no actual behind the wheel. It was you filled out a form and your government allowed you to have a license. And because there was no commercial driver's license, anybody who had any license in that country could then have a commercial driver's license in California.
And that's part of the problem that California's been doing right now, because they've been giving away licenses to illegal aliens. Hence, we now need the real ID that's costing all the citizens money, because they gave out driver's licenses like water to illegals.
That's the big problem. People don't realize the real ID, the quote unquote real ID that California has, is costing the federal taxpayers and the state taxpayers of other states a ton of money, because we now have two different types of licenses. They have to have all kinds of infrastructure.
I'm sorry. If you can't read English, you should not be getting a driver's license. I'm sorry. You need to be able to read the signs, especially if you're driving in an 80,000 pound killing machine that does not stop on a dime. Semis are as dangerous as you can get. But you know who has the safest drivers? Our sponsor, Conservative Peaches. And we would like to take a moment to hear from our sponsor, Conservative Peaches.
Here at Conservative Peaches, where tradition meets a little bit of sweet Southern charm, we're gearing up for the annual country fair, a place where the past and the present come together with the kind of pride that only a homemade pie can offer. At Conservative Peaches, we believe in country values. We believe in country music, country fun, and country fairs. We're not opposed to some liberal ideas. Our field hands can use any porta potty they want. The only rainbows you'll see at our parades is rainbow sherbet ice cream. When our tranny blows, we fix our own tractors. Our parades only fly the American flag. We do lack some things the left offers. Our attendees don't wear banana hammocks, but they can take a nap in our hammock village. Our $1 kissing booth girls are genuine country-fed girls. On Sundays, Pastor Rick makes the best ham sandwiches and does free baptisms. On Saturdays, Rabbi Shmuley makes the best briskets this side of the Holy Land and gives free brisses. He's the best darn moyel in town. He'll give you seconds if you don't watch out. We here at Conservative Peaches have pride in only offering the best, and that includes teachers in train stations. We're proud to sponsor teachers in train stations because we really think that they are peachy keen. Even liberals should reach on down, hit that like and subscribe button, and climb aboard teachers in train stations as their next rider. So what are you waiting for? A personal invitation? Okay, fine. Conservative Peaches personally invites you to hit that like and subscribe button and join teachers in train stations. And while you're there, leave a comment or two. And when you're done with that, go out and buy some Conservative Peaches. Conservative Peaches is not a real company, nor is this a real endorsement. So don't sue us just because we're having a little fun. So welcome aboard teachers in train stations. Jeremy and Seth are glad to have you as riders. If you're lucky, maybe Pastor Rick and Rabbi Shmuley will join us. And now, back to our show. This is Teachers in Train Stations.
You know, it's funny. Was that Monday? Was that just this last Monday? I was riding on a side road, a frontage road that's next to the freeway that I work near and everything. And I ride my motorcycle, and for right now, it's just been like, I don't feel like driving the freeway. So literally every morning I take the canyon, and it puts me on this frontage road next to my school. And I thought, God, it's kind of foggy / dusty something, you know? And as I'm coming around a corner, I realized, no, it's dust. It's dirt in the air. There was a double trailer semi-truck had crushed through the 10 freeway, gone through the guardrail, through the fence, through the open land, and had gone all the way into the frontage road and blocked the entire frontage road. And the guy had just been getting out of his car. I would have stopped. I would have been more supportive, but he was walking normal. It wasn't like, bloody or cut up or anything like that. You could tell his truck had just crushed through all of this, blocked the entire road. It just happened to be a point where I could drive off onto the literal shoulder on the opposite side of the road to get around it. And I was like, he's alive. It's fine. It's whatever as far as he's concerned. And I don't care about the property. The guy had crashed through the guardrail. It was a big old mess. And I just thought to my lucky stars, if I'd have been just 30 seconds faster in my commute, I would have been the guy that was in the way of that 40-ton semi-truck, 60-ton, 80-ton semi-truck on my motorcycle.
In other words, you're saying there, but for the grace of God, go I.
Yeah. And, it's funny. And what I tie all that with is I was on the 40 freeway in June. And I noticed I drove, 4 or 5 states on the 40 freeway. And I just noticed tons of carnage on the guardrails. And I I talked to a state trooper and I said, man, it just seems like there's a lot of damage to all this guardrail. I've been driving since California. And he's like, absolutely. He said, yeah, it's up 500% damage to guardrails and damage to the sides of the road from these semi trucks. He said that people don't know how to drive, or they're driving beyond their limits, meaning they're driving too much weight or too much length.
Well, I live in an area that's right by a freeway, and it is very dangerous because this is a main corridor for all the semis going cross country.
Absolutely.
My wife has been hit by a semi.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
I was hit by a semi.
You absolutely were.
So many of my neighbors have gotten in accidents with semis. These things are huge, and they should not be bringing in people from other countries that don't have driving experience, who can't read English, and who should not be driving for these companies. I'm sorry, I don't care if we have enough or not. Those are 80,000-pound death machines that are just hitting people left and right. And I'm
to be
sorry,
fair,
you should not be licensed if you can't qualify.
To be absolutely fair, I don't care if you're from this country or not.
I don't either.
And you're going to drive a semi-truck. You just need to pass the test.
Yes.
You need to be able, and I don't mean that wink, wink, nod, nod, I wrote you a check so you pass me. I mean, and honest to God, somebody needs to know how to drive the damn thing. I've driven semi-trucks. They're not easy to drive. Okay. I've driven vehicles with air brakes. They're not easy to drive. You need somebody who's used to that, understands that. I really feel, it's funny, with the exception of personal construction, if you work in hospitals, airports, schools, you have to go through an apprenticeship program. And basically, they don't let you do anything until you know what you're doing. I mean, there's somebody that's really yelling at you and checking on you the entire time. Why don't we have that for truck driving? Why isn't there? I mean, we have all the oversight in the world. You can put speed sensors on a truck. You can put tracking sensors on a truck. You can put braking sensors, yaw sensors. You can do all of this. Heck, you can do all of this with literally something the size of an AirTag. Well, why don't we have all that? And somebody's reviewing that data for people of questionable age. And I don't mean age as in their age. I mean questionable age as in how long they've been driving. Why don't we have that in place? And you have to be monitored. Hell, I think it's Geico. I think it's Geico or Allstate that puts the stupid little plug-in thing in your car for the first 5 years, and you have to make sure you drive great and all this stuff.
I don't know about that. I do know though, with that guy that was in the accident, they do have video from a camera that was in the cabin.
Yes, a lot of commercial trucks are requiring video now.
Yeah. So one thing I am going to say. I'm going to shift gears. And you should shift gears too. You should shift gears and reach on down, find where that subscribe button is. We are growing really fast. Our goal is to hit 100 subscribers. We're well on our way. You should hit the like button. And what else should you do?
You should hit the subscribe button, and you should hit the notification bell.
I said that.
You didn't say the notification.
Oh, okay, I said the like button. All right, what else should you do?
You should raise a toast and you should comment.
Comment?
No way.
Absolutely. Comment. Tell us if you like what we're doing. Let us know. Maybe you disagree. I believe that people should not be getting these CDLs unless they can speak the language and they are ready to get a license. Some of these people just coming over who are here for a short time, they can't speak the language. They shouldn't be getting CDLs. They shouldn't have commercial driver's licenses. Jeremy seems to think pretty much the same thing.
I do. And, friends of mine, their kids are actually going out and getting this commercial driver's license. So, but if anybody wants to sit there and say, well, nobody in America wants to do this work, that's not true. In fact, I probably could point to, it's only first 3-4 weeks of school. I could probably point to at least 4 or 5 of my kids alone in my class right this year that want to have commercial driver's license. They want to work in the logistics field. So the idea that it's no one wants to do this and that's why we're bringing in illegal aliens, that's completely false. Absolutely false.
And you know what? One of the best companies that has the safest drivers, that really cares about the community, really wants to give a great product that's grown with no pesticides and really, done organically and really satisfied a wonderful, healthy service. Deliver it safely. What company does that?
You know what, though? You know what? And because of their logistics of where they're at and where they have to meet, they are long-haul truckers. They're traveling across the country. They're going from Georgia and areas like that all the way across to the land of fruits and nuts, California.
Well, you know why they're coming from Georgia?
Because that's the climate that it grows in.
No, it's because Georgia peaches are known to be the best peaches.
Absolutely.
And the best peaches of all the best peaches are grown by conservative peaches.
They really are.
Yeah. And so we encourage you to go out, buy some conservative peaches, let them know you appreciate their products. And with that,
we'll see you at the next stop.